And welcome everyone to another edition of the Coaches Show. I'm Adam Gore, joined by Adam Hamilton and Stephen Chris tonight here from Westside Grill and Sonic. Once again, want to remind everybody we're here just about every Monday night from either 5:30 to 6 o'clock when we start the show. Feel free to come by and check us out. Also, feel free to come by and try some of Charles's food he's got here out at Westside Grill. Of course, Charles, always happy to see you guys come by. We've got a lot of scores and talk about some games coming up next week and the importance of them now that we're in the heart of division play. But this week we're going to start things out with 1A football. We didn't get a score report on the Coffeyville game from Coffeyville was off this past week, so no score from Coffeyville, but Vardaman won big over Biggersville. Sorry about the pun. 70-7 was that final score. 40-point effort in the second quarter. They were led by Kevin Clemens in that second quarter, who scored 3 of his 4 rushing touchdowns in that football game. So Vardaman stays perfect on the year. They'll move on next week to go on the road to take on rival Smithville in a key 1A region football game there. 2A football, we had a wild night in Calhoun City as Malcolm Bellum found Marcus Denton on a 19-yard pass on a 4th down and 18 conversion on a 99-yard drive to tie the game at 20 each. Calhoun City would go on to win the ball game 21-20, but in one of the most oddest things you'll ever see in football, I've covered football since 1998 in Calhoun City and didn't even realize that this wire was up here, but we'll take you to the finish of this ball game here. Remember the score right now, 20-20, Calhoun City-Eupora.
And the last extra point that Calhoun City put up, it was almost blocked. So a big play here for the Wildcats to get the lead, 2:27 to go, and then you got to call on your defense one more time.
That is, you have the holder coming up with the ball. Great holds, the kick is up. Whoa, they're calling it. It did hit the guide wire, so we're saying they're going to have to kick it over. I mean, it did go through the uprights, but the bad thing about it is interference. You have to kick it again. So, I mean, oh, boy. That's one of them type of deals. You really don't know what's going on. You hate to see that, but, you know, rule is the rule here.
Yeah. I have never seen that. I've never even seen the guidelines going across here, so I guess it has happened here in the past. But big kick, again, for the Wildcats. It went through the uprights, I thought, but it hit the wire, so be a re-kick.
Tyler Gray is the holder. All-important hold and snap of the Wildcat offense right here. Here's the snap, and Gray holds the ball. Kick is up, and again, we have it again. Well, I'm going to tell you, we're going to see third time a charm here. I mean, all my years, Reggie, of watching football here, I don't think I've ever seen field goals that's hit the guide wire.
Well, if I'm Calhoun City, I'd work up a deal with Natchez Trace. You know, they need to move something because, man, that's 2 times in a row they had the ball game or had a lead for the win anyway, or a chance to win the football game, and it hits the wire. So amazing finish to this football game.
Well, Reggie, I was sitting here looking and watching Roger Turner just then, and as Coach Ray was saying something to him, Turner just turned around and kind of threw his hands up and asked him, you know, what else can I do here? You know, all I'm doing is kicking the football, but he's done kicked through the guide wire here. Maybe third time will be the charm.
And you know it's not automatic. It's not automatic in high school. So a lot of pressure on a young kid to have to do it 3 times in a row. And let's see if he's got it in to get one more through there, as the guide wire needs to not be a part of this ball game.
2:27, 20-20, and again, we're trying to pin the extra point here. You know, looking back, we've had 2 good snaps, 2 good holds, and 2 good kicks, but they just hadn't been good on the scoreboards as Turner gets ready to kick again. This time we have a...
Well, they stopped the play a while ago, and I was wanting to mention the ball on the field, but they had to wait for that wire to quit shaking to re-kick it. That's what I kept wondering what the referees were doing, and they were waiting for the wire to quit shaking. So, okay, we're going to try it for the 3rd time here.
Getting ready for the snap. Tyler Gray, and he puts it up, puts it down, holding. Good gracious. I mean, is this come back to something like the Ole Miss and Mississippi State football game type deal with the wind blowing, or so many plays from scrimmage at about 3 or 4 yards? I mean, this is getting about ridiculous here. You see Coach Ray kind of shaking his head, You know, everybody around here is kind of wondering what's going on. I know the players are just bumfuzzled at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're that deadly with a pitching wedge, I mean, you can be awesome in golf because, I mean, he's hitting it right on the same spot. And you can't blame the kid because he's putting it right through the middle. I mean, and so you don't change your kick none whatsoever because I don't know if they're going to move it to the other end of the field here and try it on the other end or something because this is ridiculous. I've never seen that before. And
it's amazing to me. I've never seen this here at Dale Harrison Field. I've watched many a football game. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen some crazy trick plays go for a touchdown. I've seen some good defensive plays that go for a touchdown or a good stop, but waiting for an all-important extra point after a good long drive of 99 yards to score a touchdown. 227, 20-20. We can't get the extra point to go through. Keeps hitting the wire. Again, up and kick. He misses the wire. Field goal. Extra point is good. 21-20. 2:27 to go. If I'm not mistaken, the Eagles still have 2 timeouts. So, I mean, really anything is still possible right at this point in time.
Yeah, but with 2:27 to go.
And welcome back. Finally, that kick is good there. Calhoun City goes on to win a key division game to the final score of 21-20. As I said, I've covered high school sports mainly in this area since 1998, and I didn't even know that wire was there until that night. So it's sort of a rather unusual turn of events there, but Calhoun City does pick up the 21-20 win over Eupora. Bruce picks up another big win in region. They knock off Jay-Z George to the final score of 19-13. Anthony Armstrong rushed for 138 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, including a 96-yard touchdown for the Trojans. Baldwin continuing their winning ways, 24-6 over Manatachee. Casey Copeland hit a 42-yard field goal in that game for the Bearcats. And then Hatley loses one to Okolona to the final score of 31-6. Well, that's going to round out our first part of the scoring here on the show as we cover the 1A and 2A region there. When we come back, we'll take a look at 3A and 4A scores and come back with the interview there from Nettleton as well. So we'll take you to a real quick break. Come back with more here from Westside Grill and the Coaches Show on TV7.
Hey kids, what's going on? You guys not remember we're taping a show here? I mean, but that's okay though. Just chill. I see that I've interrupted your guys' lunch here. Jeremy, you do remember we got a show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, what are you boys eating?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers. Any cornerstone to a nutritional lunch. What kind of hamburgers are you eating?
Cheeseburgers.
Not what kind. Where'd you get it from?
Westside Grill and Bruce.
So I take it that's your burger there.
Yeah.
Mind if I try a bite? Hey Steven, you want to buy this burger?
Yeah.
You sure? Because they're pretty tasty.
I'm not hungry.
All right, man, but if you're ever hungry, you should check them out. Pretty tasty burger. You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France?
Life is full of major moments. Some you could do without, and some you'll treasure. So for those times when your life seems to blaze out of control, and for those times when all of your hard work pays off, remember who's been by your side yesterday and today, and who'll be there tomorrow. Your Farm Bureau Insurance Agent. Some people just make your life better.
King's Tire in Houston, offering the largest selection of used and new tires. They carry all sizes of many name brand tires. All used tires carry a 30-day warranty. They also offer rotation and balancing. King's Tire is also your place for car and motorcycle brakes and motorcycle tires. They offer windshield replacement, and they do 24-hour car door unlocking. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday until lunch on Saturday. Closed on Wednesdays. They accept Visa and MasterCard. See owners Reggie and Martha Callahan at King's Tire on the southeast corner of the square in Houston. Renaissance Bank in Calhoun City. The name is new, but they still offer the same great service. Totally free checking, savings account and CDs, home loans and business loans, 24-hour ATM inside, and drive-through window for your convenience. Jimmy Clemens invites you to come by and visit all the staff. Rhonda Ray, Sandra Doolittle, Jennifer Parker, Penny Nichols, Mary Johnson, and Robbie Winter. Come see them today for all of your financial needs or call them at 628-6692. Highway 8 East in Calhoun City, that's Renaissance Bank.
You know, being teammates is about more than just helping each other win races every week. It's also about helping each other learn.
That's right. Michael has taught me that Napa parts are as good or better than the parts that came on your own car, and that Napa parts professionals can always help you get the job done right the first time.
Yeah, and Junior taught me how to do this.
I'm not taking credit for that. That needs just a little work there, bud.
And welcome back to the Coaches Show here at Westside Grill and Bruce across from Sonic. Remind you, if you would like to place an order, you can call in 983-2828 here to Westside Grill. Little Charles will be glad to hook you up there on anything you'd like to order. We'll jump now into some 3A scores. And probably the most exciting and surprising score of the football season, or excuse me, this past week. Amory knocked off Houston on a last-minute touchdown by Josh Ruff, who finished the ball game with 103 yards rushing. And see, that touchdown came with about 1:45 left in the game. Amory knocks off Houston to the final score of 20-13. Kasuth, a big winner over Boonville, to the final score of 41-28. Andrew Southward and John Andy Scott each had 2 touchdowns in that ball game. Itawamba AHS, no problem with North Pontotoc, 33-0. Water Valley, a victor over Independence, 16-6. And then the ball game that we had to go cover wasn't scheduled, but we'll talk about that later on. Jamie Bolin had 305 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Lance Dixon, 102 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. And Nettleton's 46-0 victory over South Pontotoc. Well, I had a chance to talk to a couple of players and coach after the game, so we'll go to those interviews now. Welcome to the post-game show, talking with Jamie. Jamie, you guys, this week was a dangerous game. Of course, you got a big game next week against Amory. Talk about how the coaches kept you focused on the task at hand this week.
Well, they just told us this week's important. Can't get through to the Amory until you get through this week. So we just had to come out, do what we had to do against South.
Well, Jamie, one of the big things was take care of business in the first half. You did that. At halftime, you had 304 yards passing. Just talk about how you felt throwing the football tonight.
Line protected really well. I had all day to throw, and receivers got open.
All right, well, in the backfield, you had Dixon rushing with you tonight. I believe you finished the game with over 100 yards rushing. Just an impressive night all the way around offensively. Talk about the presence of him as a running back and what that does for you as a quarterback.
It's just like if they start looking for him to run the ball, then we can just throw it. If they look for us to throw it, we can hand it to him and he can run. So keep them guessing. All
right, well, this big win behind you here, of course, the question's going to come up next week, the big matchup with Amory. Amory, we just heard, took a lead over Houston late in the ball game. Talk about just getting ready for this Amory team, and that's just going to be a high-pressured ball game.
It's going to be a lot of pressure. We can just, if we come out and play how we need to play, we can get on them. We can take care of business. All
right, buddy. Well, you're our co-player of the game, or actually our player of the game. We want to thank you for taking time talking to us here, and good luck next week against the Panthers.
Thank you.
And back with another outstanding performer tonight, Lance Dixon. Lance, 102 yards rushing the football. Talk about how you felt running the ball tonight.
I felt good. The line gave me a lot of protection, so I just ran the ball hard and get what I can get.
Well, Lance, I believe you had a knee injury starting the season. Talk about how your knee's bothering you.
It don't really hurt, so I just put the brace on and run the ball.
All right, well, a big offensive night out of your team tonight. Got to feel good with some confidence brewing going into that Amory game next week, putting up over 500 yards total offense. So talk about that game next week against Amory, what you guys got to do to get ready for that.
We got to come out, practice Monday, all week hard, and then go to Amory and play like we practice.
All right, well, appreciate you taking time to talk to us, buddy, and good luck and congratulations next week.
Thank you.
Back with more of the post-game show, talking to Hazy Pierre. Buddy, talk about the game tonight, 500 yards total offense, big performance for your Tigers tonight.
It was a big performance. They came out and really played hard in the first half. They really got after it all night long. The offense started out real strong for us, and defense gave us another shutout. It was a very good performance tonight.
Well, all-around good performance out of both the teams here tonight, and
Yes,
a big
sir.
ball game next week against Amory.
We just hope we go out and play hard all week long, practice hard all week long, and go get after it. Because they're going to really bring it. But we got a surprise for them tonight, and we're going to really bring it to them.
Back with more of the post-game show, talking with Rashad Hoskins. Rashad, a big night for your ball team. Come out, take care of business early. Talk about how you guys prepare for this game this week.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be big, and we not worried about no team around here. So, we're just looking forward to going out there, playing Amory real hard, give everything we know we can do, and we prepare come Monday morning. When we go practice. We out of school, we'll go out here and practice real hard.
All right, well, congratulations on the big win tonight, and good luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
And welcome back to more of the post-game show, talking to Coach Cantrell. Coach Cantrell, you couldn't have asked for a better performance tonight out of your offense. They were just clicking, especially your quarterback, Jamie Bolin, 304 yards passing in the first half. Talk about your offense tonight and how you felt they came out and executed.
Well, I thought that's that's the best accuracy Jamie has ever shown. He threw a lot of good balls, deep balls, short balls. In between, he just threw the ball really well. He had good time though, and if you got good time and receivers running good routes, that's supposed to come together. But I was really pleased with Jamie's effort. Thought our kids caught the ball really well and made some good runs after the catch. And we did a lot of good things on offense.
Well, Coach, your running back Rashad Hoskins, he had 102 yards rushing, I believe, to finish tonight, over 100 yards rushing. Talk about how important that is to have an effective passing game complemented by an effective running back like that.
Actually, it's Lance Dixon, not Rashad Hoskins, but Lance did have 100 yards, and we don't depend on him as much as we once did. Last year, he probably averaged 25 carries a game. This year, he's about cut that in half. But he is such a dangerous weapon that people have to honor that. And when they take people out of the box to cover the pass, it just gives him a little more room to run in there. So, those two go hand in hand together. If they have to take a defender out to cover pass, we feel good about giving the ball to 22 for sure.
Well, Coach, a lot of people labeled this as a trap game for your team with the game with Amory next week. You sort of get caught looking ahead, but your kids came out. Talk about the things you did this week to keep the kids focused on the task at hand.
Well, that's not hard with us in South Pontotoc. I've been here, this is my 6th year here. We're now 3-3 against them. They beat us twice and put us out of the playoffs on 2 different occasions. So we know they always play us hard, and they had a rough game against Amory last week, but I think Coach Dees even said in the paper, we were a little intimidated by that Amory on their jersey, and I knew they wouldn't come in here and feel that way. So it was, in essence, a trap game. You could catch your kids looking ahead, but, every day we try to ask a kid, who we play this week, and, make sure we get the right answer and all that. So they kind of thought that was foolish on Coach's part, but that's just a way to stress that point, and, don't get caught looking ahead, because can't look ahead. We've had a good year this year, but we've been, in the past, it's always been Amory and everybody else, and until somebody in our division can beat them, that's the way it's going to be. Houston played them good tonight, and hopefully we can play them well. But until somebody in this region too beats the Amory Panthers, then they're always going to be they're the kings, and the rest of us are their court. So we just look for. We've got a good football team this year. I'm worried about a few things matchup-wise against Amory, but you just have to do the things you can do well and hope it's good enough.
Absolutely, Coach. When you talk about looking ahead, the South Pontotoc game now behind you, we can look ahead to the Amory game. there's no question you're not going to have to get these kids up for this football game. The big thing is going to be containing emotions, keeping the kids level to get ready for this game. Talk about some of the things you really need to look at and work on to keep the kids focused. You talk about keeping kids focused, but these are, 15, 16-year-olds can get caught up in a big hype ball game like this.
Right, and that is the most difficult thing. By the 8th game of the year, you're pretty much set on the plays you want to run, the coverages you want to have, all that kind of stuff. But the emotions can get you in such trouble here. You start yourself in 1st and 15 because you move early. You want to play well on that play, or you jump off sides, or you just do something foolish, and that's the big thing about it. I don't foresee our kids just, most people think emotions. They think of kids really fighting on the field and stuff like that. Nothing like that going to happen. When I see emotions, I see kids just making foolish plays and running themselves at a bad angle just because they are a little hyped up. And we just can't allow that. We've got to. You got to stay in that 1st and 10 and can't start 1st and 15, 1st and 20. We did that some against Caledonia, and that really hurt us. So, I don't know that I have the answer as far as keeping their emotions in check. That's just something each individual has to do. We just kind of have to harp on that this week and hope that we can contain those emotions enough. You want to have them enough to play at a high intensity, but you just can't carry it too far.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, congratulations on a big win tonight over South Pontotoc, and good luck next week in a big ball game against the Amory Panthers.
Thank you so much.
And now we'll jump into some 4A scores. Oxford staying undefeated on the season with a 42-12 victory over Cleveland. Davis Horton and DeAndre Coran each with 2 touchdowns in that football game. Saltillo and Pontotoc, this was originally scheduled to be played on TV7 and Vista 3 Media this week, but unfortunately due to uncontrollable circumstances that we had while at the football game, we couldn't bring you this game, but we would like to congratulate the Saltillo Tigers on snapping an 18-game losing streak that dates all the way back to 2004 with a 20-14 victory over Pontotoc. Guyton scored all 3 touchdowns in the ball game for the Tigers. So this game didn't end in a little controversy as Pontotoc was stopped on a 4th and inches from the goal line. Pontotoc fans, you asked them, quarterback got in on the play before that. Saltillo fans, of course, you asked them, said he didn't. So unfortunately, we were unable to be there to tell you our opinion on it. So we wish the best of luck to the Saltillo Tigers and the Pontotoc Warriors as they continue through the season. And another exciting ball game you saw here on W07BN this weekend. Clarksdale knocked off Lafayette County to the final score of 21-20. Ricky Walton had 113 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, but the play of the game was on a blocked extra point by Clarksdale to seal the victory there in division play. West Point gives Tishomingo County their first loss in the season with a 24-14 victory over Tish County. And then Shannon winners over New Albany to the final score of 35-0. Michael Ledbetter had 2 touchdown passes in that ball game. Calhoun Academy traveled to Arkansas, and they lost to DeSoto by the final score of 34-7. Aaron Sims scores that touchdown there. Then also, as you saw this past week on W07BN, East Mississippi knocks off Northeast Community College to the final score of 25-8. That rounds out all the scoring from the viewing area. So when we come back from a break, we'll take a look at our games coming up this week. Some of the games we'll be covering, who'll be covering what, and then also we'll check out some of the division, how things are playing out there. So we're going to take you to a real quick break. Here's some words from our sponsors, including Westside Grill, which is where we're at right now. Monday nights at 6 o'clock, you can come by and check out the show as well as some of the others going on here. So we invite you to come by as you take a shot at Adam Hamilton, who's sitting in for the show tonight, one of our crew members here for W07BN. As well, you take a look at some of the Stevens equipment there and whatnot. So Adam Gore, Adam Hamilton, Stephen Chris, and Little Charles here at Westside Grill. We'll take you to a real quick break, and we'll be back with more right after this. And welcome back to action. We'll take a look at some of the games going on in the viewing area this week. And I tell you what, we're in the heart of the playoff, or getting heart of the division play, getting ready for the playoffs. First one we'll look at will be the 3A region, what we call the TV7 Super region, with most of the teams being in that area. Aberdeen and South Pontotoc. This will be a game that could be played for the number 4 spot in the playoff. So a big game there at South Pontotoc. Aberdeen coming to town. The winner of that one, you got to think, would be in the driver's seat to get the number 4 spot to make the playoffs. Nettleton and Amory, a big ball game here. after Amory's win over Houston last week. This one right here will give the early advantage for someone to be the number 1 seed going into the playoffs out of that region. Of course, Nettleton still has Houston on down the line, so that will be a big ball game there to get a leg up on the competition in that game. Also, Caledonia at Houston. You got to think after last week, the big ball game by Houston at Amory. Houston's a heavy favor with Caledonia coming into town there, trying to be the number 2, possibly number 3 seed in the playoffs out of that region. The other side of 3A, Boonville will be at Corinth for another key game. Last week, Boonville lost to Kossuth, so Boonville right now will be trying to get that number 2 spot to stay at home for the opening round of the playoffs. A loss here could send them on the road for the opening round of the 2006 playoffs. North Pontotoc at Kossuth. Last week, Kossuth sort of took care of business with Boonville. North Pontotoc just looking to hope to finish the season out healthy here, as the Vikings are pretty much out of the playoffs in that situation there as well. We'll jump down to 2A now. Eupora at Bruce. This could be a big ball game for the Bruce Trojans. Of course, a lot of people are favoring Eupora in this football game, but if the Bruce Trojans can come away with a victory in that game, that was set up by a possible number 1 spot contendership game between Bruce and Calhoun City, the last game of the season. Calhoun City will go on the road to Ackerman. Eupora destroyed Ackerman last week, so look for the Calhoun City Wildcats to come away and win that one. Of course, it's always hard to rebound after an emotional win, as Calhoun City had this past Friday night. In other 2A action, Belmont will be at Baldwin. You'll see that on Vista 3 Media, Channel 98 in Prentice County, as well as Channel 98 and all the other viewing areas, as Belmont coming to town trying to knock off a red-hot Baldwin Bearcat team in that region. Also that region seeing Hatley traveling to Mantachie, and Hatley trying just to get back alive and see some postseason life there. It will have to start with a win over Mantachie. We'll jump to 1A. Thrasher will be at Biggersville. Both these teams are on the outside bubble of making the playoffs. May not be able to make it this time of the year, but this will be a game for pride, as both teams sort of in the bottom of the barrel in that division there. And then also in 1A, Vardaman will be at rival Smithville. Vardaman favored to win this ball game in this one, so the Rams will be looking to pick up a win and stay perfect on the season against their rival in Smithfield. A non-region game that's going on this week, Saltillo will be at Ripley, so that will be a big ball game there for the Tigers to see if they can rebound and make it 2 in a row, but it'll be a tough task against Ripley. 4A ball, we've got West Point at Shannon, as you'll see Bill Morgan and Soup Campbell having that play-by-play there from the hole in Shannon. That'll be a big ball game there for number 1 contendership in that region as well. New Albany will be at Pontotoc. Pontotoc looking to rebound after they just struggled throughout this year, to be another tough game against New Albany in a division play there at Pontotoc. Also in 4A, Lafayette County will travel to Northeast Lauderdale. I believe that's a non-region game also there for Lafayette County. And then Oxford will be on the road at Hernando. Oxford will be looking to stay perfect on the season with a big division win over the I-55 roadblock in Hernando. And then in Academy ball, Calhoun Academy will host Strider in division play for homecoming night. I will be there for that ball game as Strider comes to town, a bitter rivalry game there on homecoming night for Calhoun Academy. And then Saturday, I believe this ball game is scheduled for 7 p.m. Northeast will travel to Mississippi Delta in that ball game, so that'll be another big game there. Looking for the Tigers to pick up their first win on the season. Well, that's just about going to do it for this week. This edition of the Coaches Show. A lot of big ball games in your area. We invite you to get out and support your team as making a strong push for the playoffs. And of course, you can always tune in every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock here for the best of high school sports. Sunday nights at 9 o'clock, Wednesday nights at 9:30 for Northeast Tiger football action coming your way. And as always, we invite you to come out to Westside Grill and join us for the Coaches Show each Monday night starting around 6 o'clock here in Bruce. Across from Sonic, come by and see Little Charles or give him a call at 983-2828 to place your order here. Great menu, great food, and ours is just about to come off the grill, so we're getting ready to chow down here from Westside. So for Stephen Chris, Adam Hamilton, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time here on W07BN Sports.